What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Torn Your Main Reloaded channel. If you are new to the channel, make sure y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell twice to be notified whenever I go live or upload a new video. Shout out to all of my patrons over there on Patreon. Shout out to all of the members on here, and just in general, all of my supporters, subscribers here and wherever else you are listening from. So we are back. I know it seems like you just saw both of us do a collab recently. Well, we are back again. And let me tell you right now, y'all are looking at the title, and I know that attracted a lot of eyes. And trust me, it was not easy coming up with this title, but I needed to have something out there that really spoke to the masses as well as the thumbnail. But we are back, and I have Kid Gravity back over here on the channel. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Kid Gravity, how are you doing today?
All Gravity, any day above ground living. I am great. It is cold in Atlanta, but we finna get hot on this topic, boy.
Right. Yeah, now this is a topic that, Kid Gravity brought to my attention a couple of days ago, and I said, oh, we can definitely tackle this one. And it's interesting because we always talk about the tap dancer quite often between both of our channels. As a matter of fact, I think it's a rite of passage. If you are a part of the New Black Media, you have to have it talked about them at least once, maybe 10 times, probably. But this is interesting because we have two tap dancing titans going against each other, and we rarely see that. But you know what? We're going to take what we can with this and just run with it. Now, I'm completely I guess you could say new to what's about to be shown because I haven't seen anything. I haven't read anything. I didn't even know there was articles attached to it, but there are. I knew that there was a couple of videos, but I didn't watch them because I wanted to go into this completely fresh. Now, Kid Gravity, on the other hand,
I studies, folks. I studies.
Yeah, so apparently Stephen A. Smith and Jason Whitlock have gotten into it. I have no clue what they have said to each other. I don't know what I'm about to hear, but something tells me I'm gonna get a lot of shaking my head moments and a lot of laughter.
Yes, and I'm gonna do something for the folk that I usually don't do. This is gonna be funny.
Cool.
Check out my avatar. I gotta do it for the folk. I gotta do it for the folk. Right. This was not for 2023. 2023, this got to be one of the great years to give us content.
Right.
From January 1st all the way down to December 31st, this is gonna be nothing but content. Every day it's something new.
And unexpected. Unexpected.
I wish I was home more often. I'd just be doing content every day about something.
Right.
But yes, cool. Torian. Yeah, this is you're gonna enjoy this. You guys are gonna enjoy this one.
Right. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and kind of kickstart everything off because we have to go in some kind of an order because we got to know kind of where all of this started. So the first one that I'm gonna show is this 1-minute video from Stephen A. Smith. Now, I came across this video, didn't listen to it because I knew we were going to talk about it today, so I wanted to go into this completely, ears clear, not knowing what he's going to say. We know it's about Jason Whitlock, but I don't know what he's going to say to address him. But let's go ahead and see what he says. It's only 1 minute.
Now, there's a lot of people out there that want me to address.
Make sure it's proof.
Names. There's one particular person who will remain nameless, and I will not deny it. I think he's a fat, no good bastard who I despise to the core.
Sheesh. Well, tell us how you really feel.
Hey, make sure you proof it because I don't want you to get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah, make sure you proof it. Yeah, click them 3 dots real fast on the yeah. Make sure because I don't want you to get in trouble.
Exactly.
He said, "No good bastard."
It ain't hard to figure out who the hell I'm talking about. I'm where I'm at. That particular individual is where he's at, and I'll leave it at that. And no, I'm not talking about Marcellus Wiley again. No, I'm not talking about my former colleague on First Take. No, I'm not talking about them. They ain't fat bastards. who are seeds of the devil. Wishing nothing but black folks home. But I'll leave that for another day for when the time is right.
All right. So we all just heard that this was like the first video that went viral at this point, like I said, this is my first time listening to it. And what I got from it is not a lot of context behind it. We just know that Stephen A. Smith has a problem with Jason Whitlock, like most of us have. As a matter of fact, I had to block Jason Whitlock on Twitter because for some reason, I don't know how, his tweets kept popping up on my timeline as if I was following him and I wasn't. I don't know how that happened. But I ended up blocking him, and my timeline is a little bit more clear. It's a little bit more lighter now that we got all that dead weight off of it. But yeah, so this is pretty much the introduction. He just basically is coming at Jason Whitlock. He called him a fat bastard and whatnot. At this point, I don't think there was anything else at the time what to go with this. So it was a lot of speculation, like what happened, like what's going on.
Yes, sir. Well, apparently these two have been beefing for years and we didn't even know it.
Right. And now it's come to a head. They said this is the powder keg. So now people understand or realize that these two have had an issue. And like I said, it's very rare that you come across situations where you have two tap dancers who have said things about the black community, because even though Stephen A. Smith has an issue with Jason Whitlock, just like the rest of us, his hands are dirty too with the stuff that he said about black people and black male athletes. But I got a question for you, Kid Gravity. Who do you think is more extreme with their rhetoric, Stephen A. Smith or Jason Whitlock?
I'm going to say Whitlock because at times Stephen A. Smith has made sense. He just, the way he says it, you can understand what he's saying, but then he goes and switches into another. Okay, wait, I might be making a little bit more sense. They gonna love me. I can't have them love me 100%. I still gotta keep the Iverson, that vitriolic but friendly demeanor that I've had, that I cultivated for years. So I'm gonna swing back over to the conservative side.
Yeah.
Fatlock, on the other hand, this man, he just plain does not like the black grassroots. We figured this out. So he's just gonna say whatever to appease the Blaze / I took people from Outkick audience.
Exactly. Yeah, and also remember, Stephen A. Smith was the same person that says he wakes up every morning with two things on his mind: how he can make his white bosses more money, and how what was it?
Yeah.
How he can.
I wake up how to make my bosses money and how I can get some of it.
Get some of it. Yep. Exactly. And also, too, Stephen A. Smith, we ain't forget what you had to say about Kyrie Irving, last year as well. Jason Whitlock, y'all basically were tag teaming with the whole Kyrie Irving situation. But I do agree with you in sentiment that Jason Whitlock definitely is a bit more extreme. Like, look at the tirades he's been going on with Deion Sanders for the last month.
Yeah.
Even Stephen A. Smith wasn't doing all of that. But at the same time, I'm not going to give Stephen A. Smith a pass.
Oh, never
either.
That.
Never
Can't do that.
Right.
Because then the standard for giving them type of folk a pass is going to be disintegrating. Right. We can't have that.
Exactly. All right, y'all. So we already looked at the first video. Trust me, there's going to be more footage to come. But we're going to take a break from the footage right quick, and we're going to go into this article that Kid Gravity sent me as well, coming from Men's Journal. And it was posted October 13, 2023, which was 3 days ago from today on October 16th. And it says, former colleague claps back at Stephen A. Smith for fat bastard. This two sports commentators have engaged in a war of words. So I'm guessing this is Jason Whitlock is now responding.
Yeah, he responded on Friday.
Okay.
The 13th.
The irony.
Irony in that. Yes. And you can also tell this ain't hip hop, because he would have been, the second he heard that clip, he would have been in, he already had a response.
Right. That's another thing. Right. That's another thing. I didn't get a chance to ask you. When did Stephen A. Smith put that clip out?
I believe it was the 11th.
And it took him 2 days to respond.
2 days. Now, I don't know if he does his show every day. I'm talking about Whitlock, but you could have addressed it on Thursday. You could have addressed it in a tweet.
Yeah, especially since he likes the stuff he likes to post up. See, the thing is, I wonder if he was still talking crap about Deion Sanders.
Oh, we can find out while you're reading it.
Like I said, I wouldn't know because I blocked him.
I could find out for you. He still hasn't acknowledged my existence, so I can still sneak into his thing every now and again. So I could find out what he said on the 13th while you're reading.
All right, let's see what they're saying on here. Stephen A. Smith is known for not holding back when delivering his blunt opinions on sports, pop culture, and anything else he feels the need to chime in on. He also aired out his thoughts on other figures in the sports entertainment world, with his most recent target being fellow commentator Jason Whitlock. On the October 11th episode of the Stephen A. Smith Show, Smith didn't mention Whitlock by name, but fans and viewers deduced that he was speaking about Whitlock, who threatened to expose information about Smith's colleague Shannon Sharpe a few weeks ago.
Oh wait, he did it. He did it the next day. I have the clip.
Cool.
If you want to,
you can. You want to use that instead, or just continue reading?
Yeah. I want to hear from his own words.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's see. Yeah, it's this one. I've already proofed it. I know.
All right.
You ain't even gotta say it. You ain't even gotta say it.
Well, see, so we take y'all, to the ones who are watching. We took a little detour.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what Whitlock had to say. Fair use.
Or upset that Stephen A. Smith called me fat bastard, or that Stephen A. Smith is expressing this kind of animus towards me. I'm disappointed. Wish that he didn't have that level of animus, because I certainly don't have it towards him. But again, I can just say I've put myself in position, and the quirk in my personality allows me to be very, very honest. Stephen A. Smith, not being honest here. Let me walk you through it. And I said this previously. If Stephen A., and give you a couple examples of just how he was dishonest in that conversation. He says he wants to do no harm, and says that how much he loves Marcellus and he's not going to disrespect him. But the first thing he says, in a passive aggressive shot, clear as day, it shouldn't go over anybody's head. I'm assuming he's doing more than that podcast, because he's a really super smart brother. What he just said was a shot at Marcellus. I'm Stephen A. Smith. I got first take. I'm making $10 million a year. I'm hoping that this.
Why you pocket watching?
Mm-hmm. And also, too, he called himself honest. That's very dishonest of him.
And Stephen A. clearly said he's not talking about Marcellus Wiley.
Yeah, he said that.
But all right.
As a matter of fact, Marcellus Wiley was the only person that he mentioned by name in that video.
Mm-hmm. But all right.
Brother Marcellus Wiley is doing more than a podcast. That was a shot at Marcellus Wiley, clear as day, after he said he wasn't going to take any shots. But again, he's not in a position where he can be honest and say what he really thinks. He then goes on to say, I don't want to harm anybody. And this is all as he's talking about me. He doesn't want to harm anybody. But then he starts taking shots at me. I'm up here and he's down here. And then the real shot he's taking is, and Jason, or fat bastard, me, he's built his entire career on maligning and smearing Black people. What he's done is he's in hot water with Black Twitter, Black audience, whatever. He's in hot water with them. His dispute with Max Kellerman and Marcellus Wiley isn't going well. And so what he's saying to the audience, and the whole purpose of why he did this segment on Marcellus, was that so he could direct the animus. Hey, I know y'all mad at me. I know y'all think I was wrong for criticizing Max. I know what Marcellus said, y'all are buying into. But let me redirect your attention over to Jason Whitlock. He's the real bad guy.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, though. And again, this is not me giving Stephen A. Smith a pass. When he said that Jason Whitlock was making a career out of maligning Black people, was he lying?
No.
Look on
film.
Like so much, like over the year, like literally, like if it's a Black male athlete, former athlete, whoever, someone who's successful, even Black female athletes, I'll never forget what he said about Serena Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's where most of your views come from when you say stuff like that. And the crazy part about it is, even some of his audience, I don't know if you had a chance to look into his comment section. I wouldn't fault you if you didn't. When he kept going on those tirades about Deion Sanders, even his subscribers were getting tired of it. They was like, I'm about to unsubscribe from you because you're not talking about anything else but Deion Sanders. You can't even go one live stream without making him at least even a small topic of discussion. Why can't we watch something that has nothing to do with him?
And I also won't forget what he said last year. He said Juneteenth is a George Floyd holiday and about more racial division. He said without George Floyd, there's no Juneteenth. There's no Juneteenth holiday.
And that's a talking point that we've heard PC say quite a bit. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Juneteenth was around way before George Floyd was even even born, before even some of his ancestors were even born.
Mm-hmm. And guess who he said that in front of?
The Usual Suspects.
Yeah, but who's king of the Usual Suspects?
Tucker Carlson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But that's it. That's them. You want to be them folk. But let's see what else he said.
I mean, look at who he works for, The Blaze.
Yeah.
We know what comes out. We know who. We know. Well, I know one person that came out of there, the Saltine Queen.
Yes, sir. But also, Jason, yeah, that Max Stephen A beef thing, that's for the internet. That's black folks saying that this white guy is more black than Stephen A. Smith. Okay, fine, whatever. Most people aren't even going down that hole. Who cares? He defended Terrell Owens. All right, cool. Terrell Owens said that Max Kellerman's blacker than Stephen A. Okay. So we got bigger fish to fry out here, boy. But you look like you didn't eat enough fish. But I'm going to continue because we need to get through this, and I still got to give Torian his surprise.
That's, again, we've spent a lot of this week talking about the cowardice of people in foreign countries using babies as human shields and women as human shields and all of that. And that is wrong what Hamas is doing. I don't want to diminish that in any way with these comments, but this is the same type of, or obviously not as bad, but it's the same type of cowardice Stephen A. Smith is showing here. He doesn't want to take on Marcellus Wiley because he can't be honest. He can't say what really happened between he and Max Kellerman. So he says, let me hide behind Whitlock, let me distract, and let me point all the animus at Jason Whitlock. I don't like him anyway. I know that Twitter and social media people love to attack him. And hey, guys, I know y'all calling me an Uncle Tom, but here's the real Uncle Tom. That's the move of a coward. That's the move of a person, or it's a move of a coward. That's a cowardly move. That's the move of a person who doesn't want to engage in this fight with Marcellus and Max Kellerman. Go fight Jason Whitlock, everybody. Leave me alone.
The irony of him saying, hide behind Jason Whitlock.
Hey, if you want to stay cool in the summertime, hide behind Jason Whitlock.
The irony. I mean, like I said, the jokes just write themselves at this point. So yeah, that was the clip right there. That was the response that Jason Whitlock had for Stephen A. Smith. And as you can see, we already was very opinionated on that. But we also have another clip, another video to present to y'all from a YouTube channel by the name of Clasher Sports. And you can see the title right there. It says, Jason Whitlock threatens to expose Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith.
Now, for those who don't know, this is basically one of the genesis of why those two have been yelling at each other for the past few days.
Cool. Like I said, this is all new to me. So I have yes, it is. I have it on 1.25.
Cool.
Threatened to expose them all. Here's a clip right here.
I'm going to say this, speaking more specifically to Shannon Sharpe. Cut it out. Shannon Sharpe is trying to point a finger at a Fox executive or two, trying to smear them and put pressure on them and drum up a media storm of someone needs to be replaced, blame this executive, they pushed me out, blah, blah, blah. Shannon Sharpe needs to cut it out. I know what happened at FS1. And if Shannon and Stephen A. keep pushing this agenda, I'm going to expose all that I know. And
what you guys say?
Expose
all that he knows.
So, Jason Whitlock, you're trying to play victim here. You did this a while ago. You said this a while ago.
I think I vaguely remember this.
Right. Sir, you got a problem with successful black men.
Yes. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Randall from Recess. Like he about to go snitch to Miss Finster right now. He has his little pad out. Miss Finster, Miss Finster.
Bastard. Boy. I'm surprised Stephen A. Smith waited that long to say something.
Right. How long ago was this?
Well, that video was a month ago.
Okay.
So that came out September 15th. Stephen A. Smith said something on October 11th. He waited a whole month. But I think that was like right when Shannon was getting into his groove over at ESPN.
Okay.
So I guess he was more focused on that.
Cool.
But I mean, Jesus.
And I know all of it. And so cut it out, guys. Shannon Sharp's HR file is amazing. And they wanted him out for very good reasons. I just want.
Well, first off, we're going further. How does Jason Whitlock allegedly know all of this stuff?
He's trying to say that he still has spies at ESPN and FS1.
Spies?
Yeah.
Who is spying
spices? He has spices. He don't have spies.
But who would he have on there over there on his little payroll to be a spy?
Maybe whoever was working on his show, and then they said, yeah, we're firing Jason, but we'd like to keep you on because you have at least a little bit of talent.
And let's hypothetically say, even though I don't believe it, that he did have spies. How ironic the people he has spies looking at are the black ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm willing to bet that when he was forced out of FS1 or any other platform he was at before he was where he's at now, it wasn't black people that did it.
No. Well, remember, this is the same guy who went to a football game and started messing with the fans, and then he can't believe why he got suspended from his newspaper.
This dude is such a Karen.
Yeah. But here's the thing: we ain't got to play no more of that.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, it's like the rest of this, what you're playing is the rest of the video. I don't think we're gonna sit through 6 minutes of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, hey, you got a point there. Well, hey, yeah. Let's keep it moving. I think there's another article right here from Bounding Into Sports. And this is from last year, September 16, 2022. It says Jason Whitlock, Shannon Sharp is stupid and has a really low IQ. Well, that's definitely the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah, didn't he just praise him that he has a great resume? Can't be done with a great resume.
Exactly. Let's see what he's talking about here. Whitlock's comments came during a recent episode of Fearless with Jason Whitlock when he reacted to Sharp's commentary about recent allegations surrounding former Green Bay Packers quarterback Brett Favre. And I'm assuming that is about the welfare king, the stuff going on.
And there's the genesis of this whole beef. That was your surprise.
Wow.
Because I have that Shannon Sharp video loaded up.
Wow.
That's
okay, because everybody knows I have been following that case since its inception, when it really wasn't being talked about like that. And the crazy part about it is it's still not being talked about like that, but we know why.
Yeah, so if you want, we can just go straight into that.
Cool.
Because I have that, and I have what Whitlock said in response to that.
Cool. You can load it up.
Yeah, let's get it. Y'all going. I know a lot of people might have forgotten this.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you liked your surprise, didn't you?
I'll admit I wasn't expecting that.
Okay. Excuse me.
I'm about to say, was that somebody on the set? Did somebody need to excuse himself, get a Kleenex?
Yeah. All right. Fair use, family. While I go sneeze again.
Legacy. Well, I don't think none can tarnish it, because if you go back and look at his history when he played in the NFL, he should have tarnished it already. I talked to people that was in the room when Brett Favre went to the Hall of Fame, and nobody mentioned about text messages that he sent to that jet masseuse. Nobody mentioned anything about the addiction that he suffered from. But yet, T.O., they brought up everything. Can you imagine if T.O. would have had an incidents like Brett Favre off the field? T.O. still, to this day right now, would not be in the Hall of Fame. Yet they walked right past it like Brett Favre did nothing.
That is true. I give you that.
The problem that I have with this situation, you got to be a sorry mofo to steal from the lowest of the low. Skip, Mississippi is the poorest state in our country.
It is. Its
citizens. So if they're the poorest state, Brett Favre is taken from the underserved. You made $100+ million in the NFL. And to talk about what he didn't know. This is what Brett Favre takes. If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much. So if you got to ask this question, is there any way the media can find out? You already know you're doing something wrong. The mere fact that you don't want anybody to know. So you know you're doing something wrong. And Skip, he wanted to seem so philanthropic. He wanted to change the perception of the narrative. He take money for some damn volleyball arena.
Well, his
daughter plays. You see what Brett Favre did for his alma mater? No, he didn't get no money came out of his pocket. He stole money from people that really needed that money.
Yep.
Man, this is embarrassing. And he not only went Ted DiBiase, a former wrestler, even Marcus Dupree, a great running back at the school that you loved growing up, Oklahoma. He got money. How can you got to be really low to take from the poorest of the poor? Brett, you ain't got enough money? Okay, Skip, listen. You know you're not supposed to have this. But how am I going to give the damn speeches? They're paying you to give speeches, and you didn't even give the speeches. And now you won't even pay the money back. And they fired one of the guys that say he tried to recruit the money. They fired him when he was a Clinton appointee. This was political.
Yep.
Shouldn't you get the money back? Have nothing to do with politics. The man got and this is what we know. Skip, when black and brown people do fraud the government, they hell bent. You get an EBT card, or you get WIC, or you get stuff like that, boy, they move heaven and earth to try to put you in jail for $400 little measly dollars.
Fact.
Now this man done took $1 million. Somebody got $3 million. Somebody got 400,000.
Yep.
And they sitting around like, well, you know, it happened, and we'll see. And they're gonna get more money and do it all over again.
And to your point, the Mississippi.
Everything that Shannon was talking about right there is absolute facts. Like that's what I've been talking about when it came to Brett Favre for, since I started talking about him, ever since I started making the playlist. I know I haven't really uploaded a particular video on that because I've started to incorporate it into my live streams whenever I do updates on him. But he wasn't lying right there. And of course, in typical fat lot fashion, he decides to jump in front of that and throw the cape on for Brett Favre.
Yes, sir. And then the funny thing was, Fatlock has defended Brett Favre in the past.
He's had Brett Favre on his show recently.
Yeah, August 25th. Him and Warren Sapp. But this ain't about Warren Sapp. It's more about Brett Favre. So you let Brett Favre spleen. But damn. I got that if you want that.
You can go ahead.
All right.
Because I don't think, well, like I said, if it's something on his page, I don't watch it.
Yeah, no, this is on the channel over there. But yeah, look. So as Sports Illustrated did a breakdown of the entire case, he don't like that.
I might have read that.
I'm sure you did. You're like, I need everything. Yeah, let's see what he said.
Because he was on your show. It's not what I'm about to do. Here's my takeaway as a journalist. They don't have anything other than Brett Favre's name. That's what Michael Rosenberg and Sports Illustrated have. Hey, Brett Favre kept asking the governor of Mississippi for money for a volleyball facility at Southern Mississippi University. And that is Brett Favre's alma mater. His daughter had played volleyball there. He wanted a volleyball facility built there. He made some promises to the school that he would help finance or help land the financing for it. And so Sports Illustrated has uncovered a series of text message communications where Brett Favre kept asking the governor, hey, you gonna help me out here? You gonna help me out here? Hey, you set me up with this person. I think Nancy knew. Is she gonna help me out here? They at late in the story, after trying to paint this picture as Brett Favre as the Don Corleone of this embezzlement scheme, they acknowledge, well, there's nothing in here where Brett Favre acknowledges he even knows where the money's coming from.
That's a lie, because he literally, like Shannon said in the other video, and it's in the text message. One of the first texts that he sent was, will the media find out about this? That was one of the first. And I'm not shocked that Jason Whitlock is not going to mention that. I'm not sure. When was this video done?
They uploaded it
4 months
May
ago.
24th.
Do you know how much stuff came out before he did this and after he did this? But again,
they killed him in a comment thread.
I'm sure. I'm honest. I'm shocked that they did, but I'm glad that they did. It's like, it's clear he doesn't read. It's very clear. He goes off of face value. He probably looked at one headline and was like, "Oh, how dare
Sports
they?"
Illustrated that did it.
Yeah,
he thinks they're the left.
he wishes he could have a job at Sports Illustrated.
I'm surprised Sports Illustrated is still in business. After that whole fiasco with the swimsuit stuff, I mean, now they try to bring it back, but I figured they would have got bought out by somebody already. Well, all right.
What it sounded like is that Brett Favre made some promises to his school, wanted the governor and taxpayer dollars to help with some of the promises he made to the school, the governor. And these government officials who actually had authority over how the money was used wouldn't tell Brett Favre no. They had all the authority. Brett Favre had none. His only authority was his ability to beg people, hey, help me finance or help pay for this facilities at Southern Miss. I'm just sorry that they're using Brett Favre's name. Is the story a good look for Brett Favre? No. Have they shown any indication that anything Brett Favre did was criminal? No.
Actually, they did. And they show all of his constituents who was involved with it. After all, I think all of them have been charged with something. He's the only one so far, as well as the former governor, that has not been charged with anything, but they're all connected. And the thing is, Brett Favre has a massive net worth. That facility would not have even put a dent into his net worth. He could have paid for that himself. And why isn't Jason Whitlock not talking about the speeches that he got paid for that he never gave? Why isn't he not talking about because Brett Favre did pay back the money that he owed, but he did not pay back the interest, which was like $250,000. I don't know why he's holding on to that when he paid the bulk of it back, which was like well over $1 million. I don't know why he's holding on to $250,000 in interest.
Yeah, didn't you do a video on that? He said something about he didn't think he did anything wrong.
Yes, yeah. Like when I was like I think that was probably before Jason Whitlock did this video. I think that came out like a while ago. Where he was saying he felt like he did nothing wrong. He literally came out of his mouth or his attorneys and said that he feels like he's the victim.
And they monetized the hell out this video. Must be nice. But I got YouTube Premium, so I don't even see it. So whatever.
So do I.
Must be nice.
He was a tax-paying citizen begging a government official to help pay for something on a state university. The whole embezzlement thing, they were taking state funds and applying it to a state institution, and it should, but they can't even make the argument, or no one has made the argument yet. Like they took these funds and all these mothers and kids went starving and they didn't have the money for X, Y, and Z programs. None of that is ever made. I haven't seen any story that makes those allegations that someone was harmed here. I'm not saying what was done by these government officials certainly appears to be illegal, but Brett Favre has no authority over any of that money. Brett Favre is being used here to elevate these stories, help people win journalism awards, and to help people look like, hey, I'm not racist. I brought down Brett Favre. That's my.
What?
I was getting ready to say the same thing. We almost said what at the same time, but you got it out before I did. I'm like, what? It wasn't even black people that broke this story.
Never mind. This is revisionist history. This is what the dumb servitude does.
Right.
This is what they do.
It's not even a lot of black people even talking about this. I hate to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm one of the only ones on this side that's like consistently talks about this.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying no one else hasn't, but on a consistent basis, I'm constantly checking Google weekly to see if there's any updates about what's going on with Brett Favre in the situation. Of course, the last one I talked about was it last week? No, or the week before, where they said he had to go under oath or something like that. Because they're really trying to get this to trial. That's why his attorneys are trying to get this thing dropped before it has a chance to go to trial. Because it's like if it goes to trial, then we might be screwed.
Yeah, he's gonna try to plead out. He'd be like, "Nah, you had months."
The judge down there, they are adamant on not having him being dropped from that case. They said they're lucky that he's not being charged right now, and that's another thing they're trying to hold on to. They're trying to get out of this before that there's an opportunity for him to get charged. Because if he gets charged, then he's pretty much locked in at that point.
Yes, sir.
And didn't also Brett Favre was involved with some kind of a drug, some kind of pharmaceutical drug that dealt with concussions that wasn't working, or it didn't pan out, or something like that.
Yes.
I think that got brought up to, I forgot the name of it.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, he backed concussion drug companies that overstated effectiveness, exaggerated NFL connections.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah. Oh, update for you, brother. You'll have more content. His deposition in Mississippi welfare scandals rescheduled for December. So he's gonna be finally talking.
Right.
So more content.
My takeaway.
Yeah, my takeaway is this. That story is only the second worst thing Sports Illustrated has done this week. Did you see their swimsuit cover?
Oh God, I'm not even gonna do this. This
Exactly.
clown
I got annoyed. Like, I did the Michael Myers head tilt. The minute he started.
this clown. He just as dumb as Whitlock. So I guess
Which is why he always has them on there.
Yeah, but yeah, this is we're gonna stay on top of this, folks.
You know what's so crazy? This thing was supposed to be about us talking about who was the worst between them. I think it's pretty obvious who the winner is. I think it's pretty obvious. But I mean, I'm glad that we was able to see where this all started, and where it's at now and where it all started. And it's crazy, like Kid Gravity was saying, the surprise for me was, oh, it stems back to the whole thing with Brett Favre. I'm like, so of course Jason Whitlock will make a mountain out of a molehill when it involves a PC male. Or any PC person, period.
Yes, sir. You know what? I just remember. Let's look at some of these comments.
Cool.
You'll like it. Let's blow the screen up for the family, because we don't want our family straining their eyes. Because we need to have laser. We need to have laser focus on what's going on out here in the streets. So this one says, moral of the story: if you play with dirt, you're gonna get dirty. Don't get involved with society scumbags known as politicians. Okay. Good Lord, Jason, I'm conservative myself, but you'll defend anyone whose politics matches yours, irrespective of their wrongdoings. This is getting ridiculous. Now, I'm sure if Watergate happened today, you defend Nixon.
That's scary too.
Wow, Jason, I knew it before I clicked that you were going to defend the white boy.
Of course.
Just came back to see the type of energy this man had for Brett Favre. Surprise, surprise. He's made several videos about Coach Prime.
And that was recent.
Mm-hmm. And you think what CP is doing is worse than this fraud allegations? Shake my head. Jason cannot bring himself to be wrong. I would bet 95% of the ones hating on Favre don't give a genuine damn about the legal aspects. Hate is never homeless. What? What does this mean? He literally did something wrong.
Right. Like, that's how they don't be looking into the stuff that they do. That's another reason why I started to focus so much on the Brett Favre situation, because I knew mainstream media was not going to push it like that. If this was, say, Jerome Bettis doing this, he would have had all his news aired out everywhere. We would probably not. It would be a nonstop thing that we would hear about if it was Jerome Bettis. And I'm just using Jerome as an example, because remember what happened with Wesley Snipes and Lauryn Hill with the taxes. They would not stop talking about that when that stuff came out.
Yes, sir.
But when it comes to Brett Favre, and the thing is, they have to keep this proverbial lie of who is the biggest recipient of welfare. And the thing is, it's embarrassing, because you have Brett Favre, who has amassed all this wealth playing all these years, overplayed, honestly, because he should have been retired way before he did. Amassed all his wealth, and he's taking this money from people who actually need it when he could have afforded it. So it looks embarrassing. So they're trying to hold on to his legacy, because the thing is, when he passes on, what they're worried about is more people are going to talk about this rather than his football career. I mean, after all, that's what they're going to probably do to Bill Cosby.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So, Brett Favre, you are not exempt. And as far as Jason Whitlock's legacy, if you want to call it that, I can only imagine what they put on his tombstone.
He was fearless. And they'll probably put that red mic on his grave.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the kind of comment someone makes when they want to defend someone who they know did something clearly wrong. This guy said, no indication Favre did.
Oh, never mind. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah. Then he came back and said, the first guy said, that would make sense if they didn't steal money from the state with the poorest people to build a volleyball stadium for the college his daughter went to, and then didn't turn around and pay him $1 million. Then it makes it seem like he was scared people would find out.
Again, he could have afforded to pay that out of his own pocket. When I found out how much he spent, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That would not have hurt you. And it could have been a tax write-off.
Mm-hmm. Look at this one. You realize most people loved Favre before this scandal, right? What you just said. And then they said, I know they act like Favre was universally hated. So you went and crapped on that man, but then when it came to, oh, you got to love Brett Favre, y'all got right back on code. This was my reaction from the beginning. Favre has no control over the Mississippi State Treasury. He has no taxing or appropriating authority. The government officials do. His name just gets the case in the news.
He's literally attached to it. He reached out to them and they reached back.
Look. Jason Whitlock is a clown. Please explain the text from Favre when he says, if I get the money, can the media find out where it comes from?
Yeah, exactly.
This guy from the other thread said all that's saying is he wanted his personal business kept personal. Then don't involve yourself in this.
Right. Like that was one of the standout things when I first started talking about the Brett Favre situation was when he sent that text. And that was one of the early texts was in so many words, because I can't remember exactly what it said. Can't we make sure the media does not find out about this? Which implies you were trying to do this in secret. And my thing is this: if you didn't want the media to find out about it, then you needed to meet them in person, have a verbal conversation, not a one through a text message.
Facts. Boy, yo, bro, sorry. Bro, PC is hilarious.
That's why you said the white voters going to doom us all.
Oh boy, they are serious with this. They are really trying this. Bro, hold on. I gotta get this clip. I'm sorry. I might have to introduce a clip real fast. Bruh. They're really trying to defend this man. How?
I don't know.
How?
Because many of them probably are on it too. Quite. I mean, if you want to look at stats of who's on them, who accumulates the most in welfare.
I guess, but how do you defend this? He took money from poor folk.
Exactly.
So y'all are cool with taking money from poor folk. I wish y'all would just come out and say it.
Like I said, it's their American way. Let's not forget how this nation was founded.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just saying.
Oh, you got to see that. Pick that.
Who is we?
Huh?
Pick that. Go back to the comment thread. You got to see this comment. What you did in your interview was masterful, Jason. You reminded us why we love Favre in the first place. He's a great guy.
And I'm looking at the first one. I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Who is we?
Who is we? What?
Right. And I was just laughing at the other ones who actually responded to that in a way where they said, we speak for yourself. Wow.
Oh my God. Somebody said you like Favre because he was a good football player. What else has he done? Send inappropriate pics through text, take money for speeches he never gave. Oh yeah, Favre is a saint, all right.
Exactly. See, the thing is, some people in that comment section actually have some sense, and they have been following this like I have. But of course, Jason wasn't going to put all of that out there. He didn't talk about the speeches that he never gave, or that drug that did not work but still got money off of it, and probably some other things. I know some other things. Like I said, it's a lot going on with that.
The white vote is going to doom us all.
Right.
This fool said the story was from Sports Illustrated. That's all I need to doubt the story when I first heard it.
Well, if you didn't want to listen to it from Sports Illustrated, which they pretty much probably laid out a lot of stuff, you could have found it anywhere else. Hey, I don't know if Fox News talked about it or not, but we know how much they love that. So you're gonna start calling that fake news, even though it is. But I mean, we already know that. But you know, they hold that up as like, you know, as if it's like on the level of like, you know, a CBS or ABC or something like that. But hey, it is what it is.
That is crazy. When you think PC can't get any worse, it get worse. Now, oh, by the way, Fox News did talk about it.
I kind of figured that they did. A lot of news outlets, quiet as it's kept, did talk about it, but not in a way that it should have been.
Right.
I mean, as far as like putting it on the Summer Jam screen, if you know what I mean.
PC every day just gives you another reason why we call them PC.
Mm-hmm. And they still, and some still to this day, I mean, I've been saying that since 2018, and some still to this day be asking me what does PC mean, and I don't tell them.
Don't tell them. Brett is okay with me.
I said, let that be a mystery. I said, if you find out, hey, congratulations. But yeah, you got anything else you want to add?
I'm just looking through this comment thread. I can't believe it. I ain't got nothing else. The hell with Whitlock.
Right. Cool. All right, y'all. We made it to the end. You know, this actually took a whole different direction than I thought it would. Because at first going into this, I thought it was initially just going to be focused just on them two. But it literally, now I see why you said that it's like a whole rabbit hole. Now going through it, now I understand why you said that. Because it most definitely is. Now that we know at the core of where it started from, it's like, wow, this thing kind of has like a full circle type of thing going on here.
Right. Now, does Whitlock go to Mississippi on remote to try to get an interview with Brett Favre again after the deposition?
I'm sure somebody out there will look for it. You know, I don't be clocking Jason Whitlock at all.
Yes, sir.
But I'm sure he's probably going to try, or maybe he can, because after all, he has had him on his show. So I mean, you know, we'll see.
Gotta have a friend in the media.
I guess.
Like his only friend right now.
I guess.
Because all the other white conservatives ain't touching this man right now.
Oh, they're definitely not. He's like a pariah.
Yes, sir.
Right. Because even they know that, they may not say it, but even they know that guy that he's very guilty of what he did.
Yes.
Charged now or not, they know he did what he did. The evidence is there. It's very glaring.
It's damning.
Yeah, like what else do you want them to pull up? Like, they pulled up as many receipts as they possibly could. It's probably some more that they're going to find.
You can't have that. According to Whitlock, you can't have that. He ain't do nothing wrong.
Right. But anyway, y'all, we are about to get up out of here. This was very, 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 very interesting, to say the least. Y'all let me know down in the comments. I know this is a redundant question, but who do you think won this battle? I think it's pretty obvious who won, to the point where I don't even think we can even really call it a battle at this point. Like, it's really a one-sided decision. But y'all let me know what y'all think about all this information down in the comments. Again, shout out to all of my subscribers over here. Again, if you have not done so, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to Kid Gravity's channel. He definitely gives a lot of great information, especially on the political side. I will leave the link to his channel in the description, or I may pin it in the comments, whichever is more easier to find. Also, again, shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. Shout out to all of my members on the channel, all of my subscribers, all of my followers on my various social media accounts. I definitely appreciate the ongoing support. And with that being said, we are out of here. Be safe and be one.